Hello everyone, my name is Aja and I'm here making a video on High School Musical, the series. If you see me looking to the side, I'm looking at my computer for fact check. So I just kind of wanted to talk about my opinions on the show and both seasons since season 2 just ended. So that's what we're gonna do. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk about each character. So the first character that I'm gonna talk about is Nene Salazar Roberts. First, she does not deserve the hate that she gives. Let's start there. Y'all be on Twitter bashing this girl to the end. Like, you forgot who she was from the first season to the second season. She did not... I'm so sorry if you hear background noise. This is my dog. She did not change that much between the first and second season. Because there wasn't even a big-ass time jump between the first and the second season. So I don't even know why some of y'all be acting like that on Twitter, on anywhere. Literally, everywhere I go, most of y'all, 75% of y'all are bashing Nene, and the hate needs to stop. Season 1, Nene, let's talk about it. She was trying to find herself. And did she find herself? Maybe a little bit. So let's talk about it. So she writes this amazing song for Ricky. She gets rejected basically with the I love you, and she decides to agree to go on this break, which I don't even really think that she knew what that meant at first. But she took that to a whole nother level by going to a summer camp and getting a whole new boyfriend in the midst of still kind of low-key being in a relationship with Ricky. I might have spilled there, so I'm just gonna say that was a little messed up, but I mean, we're gonna get to Ricky in just a second. So then she goes through this whole thing. Let's look. She gets Gabriella, of course, in the musical. If you've not seen this show, don't watch this video. I can't do non-spoilers and I can't do it. Spoiler alert. She gets Gabriella, right? Also, season 1 came out 2 years ago, so I don't even... sorry. So she gets Gabriella, and I think she kind of deserved it. So then, let's see, episode 2, she's still trying to go through the process of getting Ricky to quit. Because, Ricky's Troy and she's Gabriella, and she did not sign up for that. She signed up for her boyfriend, EJ, at the time, to be Troy, and she did not want to be messing around with Ricky anymore. I mean, high-key, the thought of her looking at Ricky with Nene was sick. She was like, I don't even want to look at this man. I don't want to talk to this man. I don't even want to breathe the same... Okay. She did not want to be in the same vicinity as Ricky at all. And, I mean, I kind of blame her. I wouldn't want to be sticking around with my ex either. But something that doesn't make sense to me is that later on, they revealed that they've always known each other, Ricky and Nene. Like, they've always been best friends. So I don't know why exactly she wanted to avoid that dude to the most. Like, that was still her best friend, right? Okay. So then we get to the Wonder Studies episode where she steals Gina's stuff. That was a bad move. At least she returned the stuff. I mean, she kind of had to return the stuff, but she did take it because she thought Gina stole her phone. And I'm not gonna lie, Gina was sus at this point for why the phone was stolen. Stealing someone's phone is a big deal. Especially over something as dumb as a voicemail message from Ricky? Really? Insecurities? You could have just asked her after she finally listened to the voicemail afterwards, EJ. But we'll get there in a second. So at least she did return the stuff. Gina was sus, but I don't think the whole tit for tat, you stole something of mine, I stole something of yours, was right. I don't think you should do that. She should have just said, like, someone needs to give me back my phone. Or I'm filing a police report or something. I don't know. She could have did that. Miss Jin kind of saying, like, I really don't care that your phone is lost right now was kind of messed up. Because I'm sure if Miss Jin's phone was lost, she'd be getting all the kids to go find that phone. So that was just a little bit. I mean, I have an iPhone 12. This was like $900 and something. So imagine what kind of phone she had. I'm just saying, these phones be a lot, and Disney Plus and Apple are in cahoots with each other, so they all got iPhones. So I know all them phones. I will go find that phone. This $900 phone, I'm going to find it no matter what. I don't care about rehearsal, practice. So that was that. And so then here we are on episode 4 now. Okay. In the 4th episode, so we get to this 4th episode, I don't even really think she was... Oh, she finds out EJ stole the phone, and so now they're broken up. That was very weird. I'm not gonna lie. I get maybe... I don't think maybe they should have broken up, but I think she was looking for a reason. She was kind of looking for a reason. Ricky was around now. She been looking at Ricky. Ricky been trying. And so now EJ is like, why am I with EJ? But I mean, I do get it. I mean, but that was like their first big issue. They didn't have any issues before this. He stole her phone and she found out about it issue. Like, they didn't have any issues in their relationship friends. I don't know why they broke up right away. But the writers did what they had to do, I guess, to get Ricky and Nene back together somehow, right? So we get that. And so this is where Nene's independence, finding herself, could have really come into play. But did it? No. So she sings this beautiful song, the TikTok song that some of y'all know it as All I Want. It's still on repeat till this day. Yes, it is. Excellent song. But you know, she was going forwards with EJ, and then she broke up with EJ, and then she went backwards, and I don't understand why that happened. So then we get to the 5th episode, and this is where she was supposed to be finding herself. Like, Courtney was supposed to help her find herself, but did that happen? Did that happen in the first season? No, it didn't. Born to Be Brave is a beautiful song. It's one of my favorites from the season, actually. Oh, I did not talk about Wondering. Let's talk about it. Just real quick. Let's talk about Wondering. I don't care about the Nene Ricky slight moment, and that song is beautiful. It's my favorite song of the series. And it's beautiful. I just had to cut back in there to say that. Okay? So then we get to the 6th episode. Let's look at what the 6th episode was about. Oh, the 6th episode had nothing really to do with Nene. Let's talk about the 7th episode. Okay, so it's the Thanksgiving episode. They all go over to Ashlyn's house, right? She finds out Ricky and Gina been been talking, giggling, tee-heeing, chit-chatting, and now she's like, oh, that was wrong. Now, when Ricky was doing that with her and EJ, she was mad. But now she can't go and do the same thing Ricky was doing now that Ricky moved on. Let's talk about that storyline. Let's talk about the switch and the shift of the love triangles. First, we had EJ, Ricky, Nene. And then we just kicked EJ out the equation. So we all thought, oh, here, we got it back. And then we just brought in Gina. All of a sudden, we brought back in Gina to give her character development. I'm going to get to Gina. But we brought Gina in, and so now we have a whole new love triangle that we're supposed to get a company to in 2 episodes. Okay. So she finds out they've been kicking, cahooting, and she's jealous as hell. I mean, I'm not saying whether I'm Rini or Rena. I'm not doing it. Because I don't need all y'all in my comments. Nope. Especially you, nope. So she writes out of the old, beautiful song. But did she continue to do that forwardness? No. Nope. So now we're getting down to we're getting to it with the show. Let's talk about the show. Up to this point to episode 8, what do we know about the show? What have we seen about the show? Nothing. All we know is that production got shut down because of Miss Jen and her lying self, and the parts, we've been messing up rehearsals because we're having drama behind the scenes. Any theater teacher or director would tell everyone, whatever you got going on at home, when you enter these doors, it stays behind those doors. When you come in here, you need to focus on what's going on here. When you go back out the doors, that's when your problems go back. Now, okay, like I've had that. I'm a former choir kid. I'm not in high school or anything anymore, but I was a choir kid, and I know that message. When you enter the doors of the choir room, of the theater room, of the band room, all your problems are out that door. They're outside waiting at the door. When you're in here, we're working. That's all they doing, and she was not implementing that at all. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how up until episode 8, we knew nothing about the tech part of the show. These kids barely know their lines, barely know the dance moves, barely know the lines. We don't have a tech crew. Where's the costume department? I mean, is Courtney the only one designing the costumes? Where's the rest of the costume department? We know Natalie Baddeley is the stage manager. I love Natalie. We're going to get to her. What's going on with the show? All I seen y'all is kiki and giggle. What's going on with the actual show? And that's why the show was how it was. Pause. So here we are at the technical rehearsal. That was a sham. Oh, because of the fire. They couldn't do it at East High because of the fire caused by Mr. Mazzara and Miss Jen. We're gonna get to them. But so here's Nene falling back in love with Ricky. The almost kiss. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted them to kiss. Yes, I did. I wanted them to kiss. But did they know? Because Big Red is a moment interrupter, and okay, so. But she's falling back in love with Ricky, and then she finds out about this weird opportunity that fell into her lap, literally the last second of the last episode, about the performing arts school in Denver. And so now she's like, do I go to Denver or do I continue to fall in love with Ricky? Okay? Let's also talk about this episode and the other episode that I skipped, episode 6, with the 2 cameos. We had the first cameo with, I don't know the lady's name. I'm so sorry. Maybe it says it up here. It does not. The Martha girl who pops, locks, jams, and breaks, her cameo was everything. And then we had a cameo from Lucas Grabeel. That was everything as well. I'm so glad that High School Musical alumni from the original movie actually came and supported this show and showed up. I really love that. Given that a lot of people didn't want to watch this show because of its connotation to High School Musical, and they're like, I don't want my childhood to be ruined by some dumb show. And like, it literally has almost nothing to do with High School Musical. It's more like, and I can say this, it's more like Glee in a sense. Some people will argue with me it's not like Glee because they do the mockumentary interview styles like The Office and Parks and Rec, but it's still like Glee. It's like a more realistic version of Glee. They don't just burst out into song for no reason. They actually have a reason to burst out into song. The storylines, they're all messy. Everyone's kind of dating each other at this point in time. Like, we can say that. So, we get to opening night. So now Nini's confused about her feelings. And then Courtney invites the dean from the performing arts school. That was a bad move, not gonna lie. But here's where they start showing their butts. I'm just gonna go back to the show for just a second. What was that? What was that? I've been in 2 musicals before, so I kind of know how a musical is supposed to be ran. How it's supposed to go. What was that? First of all, we lost it with the tech. We got the tech crew is someone who doesn't know tech. Now we're switching roles in the middle of the show. We're forgetting lines. We're staring at the audience. Let's talk about how they had stick to the status quo played before Get Your Head in the Game. Get Your Head in the Game is not an intermission song. It's not the end of Act 1 song. That's not no. Why was that happening? The way we didn't have an understudy for Taylor, we had to throw Courtney in there. She was really reading lines out of a playbook. Oh yeah. So now we get to Act 2. The switching of the roles. Miss Jen not knowing anything is happening. The director always knows what is happening. Gina comes back out of nowhere. Ricky froze up because he saw his mom's boyfriend. His mom's boyfriend. Am I saying this is correct? His mom's boyfriend in the audience. We switch roles again in the middle of singing Breaking Free. Ricky's standing in the audience and he gets back up stage in the middle of Breaking Free. But I really like that rendition of Breaking Free though. I do. I like the little moment that they had with that. I liked where they were going. But once again, was Nene going for it? Finding herself? Finding independence from boys? No. So what happens at the end of the show? Ricky and Nene get back together. They made out. I'm surprised a Disney show would do that. They made out for 2 fucking minutes. Then after she makes out with her now ex new boyfriend, she gets an offer to a school, in Denver. Let's talk about, she didn't deserve that. She was terrible in that show. She was not a good actor at all. At all. She was not a good actor. She should have not been given a spot at that school. I don't know why. Let's also talk something else about the show. I wanted to see it. But sometimes I went to see it, but I also didn't want to see it because it was a hot mess. What was going on? So now season 2. Let's get to season 2, Nene. She doesn't tell Ricky at all until about a week before she leaves that she's going to Denver to go to the school. So they try to do this long distance thing. She gets to the school. She hates it because she can't be original and creative. Oh, boo-hoo. So she wastes her mom's money and time and paperwork. You can't just switch out of schools and then switch back 3 weeks later. That does not work, baby girl. That does not work. Let's talk about that. So she goes back to Denver, right, to surprise Ricky for Valentine's Day. She gets this whole... She finally gets there, right? She stays there for a day or two. She gets caught in snowstorm. She has this big, beautiful moment with Miss Jen. I've never realized that we don't really see the kids with Miss Jen that often, like one-on-one. That was a really good moment. I really like that. So, and somehow that moment convinced her to stay. Which should not be, okay. So then she stays, and I'm going to say, what was that? For an episode or two? For about an episode, she was still not front and center. Let's just talk about this for a second. Nene did not talk that much during this season. She didn't talk that much. So people hating on Nene this whole season, she barely talked. Let's talk about it. She was barely in episode 1. Well, she wasn't episode 1. Let's go back. She was barely in episode 2. She was barely in episode 3. Barely in episode 5. She was barely in episode 7. Barely in 8. Barely in 9. Do you see where I'm going? She barely talked this season. So I don't understand where all this Nene hate came from when she's barely opened her mouth. Do you see that? Okay. So we get to episode 6, right? And she writes, she's having writer's block for writing this song about the Rose and Beauty and the Beast because she gets cast as the Rose because there's a change of plans now because North High is now doing Beauty and the Beast. She writes this beautiful song, the Rose song, third fave in the series. That's a beautiful song. I love. It's a beautiful song. Yes. Okay, right. So we get to that, and Ricky confronts her about the song in the next episode. And she's not feeling the support, and he's not giving the support, and she's mad now. So then in the next episode, I'm gonna say something. This season kind of started showing her independence. Her coming back was like, see, she's doing the same old. But the song was the start of the revolution. Because now in episode 8, they break up. Did they want to really break up? No, but they knew they had to for the betterment of each other, you know? And so, okay, next episode, we get this COVID looking episode with the video cameras and all of that. She's barely in that episode. Episode 10. She's barely in that. Episode 2. She says something about the chocolates that that Gina thought Ricky sent her. She said some kind of snarky comment, and then they never talked about it again until the finale, which I kind of did not like, but we're gonna get to that in just 2 seconds. Episode 11, she's barely in it, but she's being the hype woman. She's being Miss Jen. What Miss Jen was supposed to be doing, Nini's doing, and that's a director. That's a leader. She was being the hype woman. She was getting people together. She came up with that plan after that evil hag stole that harness. Oh, I can't. We're gonna get to her. Last episode that she's barely in. So Nini and Ricky talk, right? But she, in the same room that they made out in, literally the semester before. But they're going back to being friends. They weren't really friends. They lost the friendship in dating. But she has this beautiful heart-to-heart with Gina in the finale, and I really love it. I really like. That's one thing. I've never really understood why, even at the end of season 1, Gina and Nini had a slight heart-to-heart. Like, Nini was like, "Oh, but we really like you around. Maybe you should stay." And like that thing. But this was a real heart-to-heart. They're really gonna start a friendship. If we get to season 3, I want to see the friendship. I low-key wanted them to be girlfriends. But we're seeing the friendship. She's being a hype woman. She's making Gina feel better. That's what I love to see. That's the Nini I like. I didn't dislike Nini. I was pretty neutral with her. I mean, what's not to not like about her? I don't hate her. I don't dislike her. Maybe she doesn't do much. Like I said, this season she did not really talk. But say about this. What? Let's talk about Ricky. I found him really annoying at first. Him constantly going at someone who was already in a relationship. Him constantly going at Nini knowing she was in a relationship now. That was bad. That was kind of messed up. That's kind of all his character was for at least 3 or 4 episodes. Not even 3 or 4. It was 4. I'm going to say 5. I'm going to include 5 just for the sake that he did go to homecoming just because he thought Nini was going to be there. That's all his character is. Then we get to the end of episode 5 when he starts really kind of talking with Gina, getting to know Gina. He's really knowing the real Gina. He's getting the real Gina come out. And so it was almost like he abandoned ship with Nini, right? And the writers kind of wrote it like that, where it looked like he abandoned ship with Nini and moved on to Gina. But for some reason, like, I guess that didn't happen. So we get to Thanksgiving. He's really knowing Gina. Gina's knowing him. I kind of liked it. Because he seemed more realistic as a person. He seemed very calm. He seemed very calmed. Like, he was just like... Not saying that Nini couldn't be that person for him, but they were literally not in a relationship anymore, and they weren't really even speaking that often anymore. So I don't even understand why a lot of people wanted Nini to be there for him. They literally could not do that at the time. But I did like that. But then we get back to episode 8, and he just goes right back to Nini because Gina leaves. What was the point of the love triangle there? So then we get to episode 9, and he's nervous because he only tried out for the show to get back with Nene. And so, but we're at the show. He's not that great of an actor either. He pretty much messed up the first act of the show by literally freezing up because he saw his mom's boyfriend. Not saying, while we're on the subject of Ricky, his mom is evil. I don't like his mom. Why would she do that? Don't you talk to your son? Don't you know he's nervous for this opening night? Why would you just pop up your random boyfriend on opening night? Okay. So he messes up the whole freaking show because he decides to scat. And then he decides to come back at the end of the show to sing Breaking Free. But you know what? His I love you speech. His I love you speech was beautiful. His I love you speech was beautiful. Oh. I'm just saying, if someone said that I love you speech to me, I would say, I don't care what happened between us. We getting back together. I mean, I don't blame her for that. I don't blame him for that. So now we're getting to season 2. Now he's dealing with a harder time. Obviously, he was dealing with a hard time in season 1 because his parents got divorced. His mom moved to Chicago. His mom has a new boyfriend. He's moving out his childhood home. Because they can't afford it. His dad can't afford it anymore. They need a smaller place. His girlfriend's moving away now. I mean, he is going through it. So I'm glad he did try out for the show. Should he have gotten the lead? No. He should have never gotten Beast. That was a favoritism thing of Miss Jen's. He should have never gotten the Beast. I did like EJ as Gaston though, but I don't know who would have filled the place the Beast, but it shouldn't have been him. So then, okay, we came to... He's barely in episode 3. He goes to try to surprise Nene and he misses her because they did the whole switch swap thing. He was he was in episode 4. What did he even do? I mean, he's trying to get Nene to like stay, I guess. Spend more time with her. No, he's barely doing anything in episode 5 either. He's just kind of moping around because Nene is going back to school. And so we get to episode 5 and he did something dumb. He did something dumb, I want to say in episode 3 too, by making Gina believe that he was the one that sent her the chocolates. And see, like, he was coming off a little too strong, like... And then he came off strong again by asking Gina, if you were my girlfriend... Shut up. Why would you ever say something like that? Why would you ask her? I'm so glad she put him in his place. She was like, but I'm not your girlfriend. So how about we don't ask me questions like that? That's right. That's right. Okay? But he was all over. He was trying to get Nene in the show. He was doing too much. I'm not gonna lie, he was doing too much. He was a bit clingy. Not gonna lie. But he was going through a lot. He was going through a lot and he kind of needed to cling to someone. But Nene was not that girl right now. Nene was like, I'm not that girl right now. Another good reason why they broke up. I'm glad they kind of broke up. So episode 6, he was being clingy again. Him showing his ass with the whole song thing, letting Lily get to him like that. He was kind of letting everyone get to him. Big Red said something. Lily said something. I mean, so many people said something to him. Like, how you feel about your girlfriend writing a song about her not being confined to your point of view? Like, I mean, if you want to dig into it like that, dig into it like that. But let's see. The next week, what does he do? Oh, they break up. They're having that big old fight. They keep fighting and stuff. He deletes that comment off her page on accident. I mean, that whole episode seeing them fight was kind of funny. It was kind of funny. Sorry. So then we get to, he was with his mom in episode 9. Mom redemption arc. I don't care about it. But he writes that beautiful song. I like that song. That song was really good. I'm not a big Joshua Bassett song person. It's a hit and miss with me, but this one was a hit for me. Then I don't know what was this was beautiful. Ricky and Carlos's friendship kind of flourishing in episode 10. I like that. Because we don't really get to see like the main four kind of interact outside of who they kind of like. Nene always interacts with Courtney. EJ always kind of interacts with Ashlyn. Ricky interacts with Big Red. Gina interacts with Ashlyn. Like, you don't really actually, we're gonna get to EJ in a second because EJ doesn't really have anyone. I'm just saying, like, I like seeing them outside of the basics, that who they talk to. I like them talk to the other characters and be friends with them. And he did that very beautiful thing by helping Carlos write that song for Seb. I loved that. And that song is really nice. It's cute. So then we get to showtime. Oh yeah, he falls and breaks his arm. Not his arm, his wrist. And gets Ashlyn's wrist. But let's go back to the show real quick. Up to this point, what do we know about the show? Nothing. What do we know about the technical crew, the costume crew, the hair and makeup crew? Not hair and makeup, because everyone has to do their own hair and makeup. Do they know the lines? We barely see them rehearse. Do they know the dancing? What's going on? Now we find out she didn't cast an understudy. No understudies in the show. Dumb. We're gonna really get into Miss Jen in just a second, because that's a doozy. So we get to show. Was he even really doing anything in this episode? No. He was acting. Okay. His harness goes missing. Nene tells him, we're just gonna do the whole swoop-de-doop. I wish we actually got to see the transformation, because the initial transformation from human to beast was sickening. That was sickening. Oh, that was sickening. At the end, let's see. I mean, what even happens at the end? He talks to Nene for a second, or he hadn't talked about that. Oh! Why did he call Lily? Why is he calling Lily? He better not be calling Lily to be like, okay, maybe we should hook. No. That evil hag. I don't care if he doesn't know that she stole the harness. Evil. She's evil. He better get it together in the next season, if there's a next season. I'm gonna talk about EJ next. I like EJ. EJ didn't do much in season 1 for me. He's with Nene. He steals the phone because he's insecure, right? And so they break up. And what happens after that? What do you hear of EJ after that? Nothing. He plays the fake boyfriend thing with Gina for a second to make Nene jealous, but that didn't work, obviously. And then we kind of not really hear about EJ anymore. I mean, do we ever... all we know is that he did that very brave thing move at the end of Breaking Free. Oh, his thing was the social media thing. He showed himself on social media, and he was on social media too much, and then he took a break from social media. That was a little dumb. Okay. So then we get to season 2, because he's, once again, he's barely, we did not hear about EJ very much in season 2 in the beginning. It was crickets until we got to the slight college thing, with him not really with him not getting into Duke. Obviously, he was obsessing over Duke because of his dad, him not getting in. I wish we explored that more. As someone who is in college, I would like for these shows to show a realistic thing of college. The college application stuff, filling out the applications, scholarships, acceptances. I want to see all of that. And they kind of tossed that to the side just a little bit. They kind of covered it a little bit because they're like, it's important. But, okay. So then nothing really happens with EJ until he shows that slight interest in Gina in episode 5 at the Quinceanera. And so then we get to episode 7. We're doing the fake risotto night thing with Gina. But this is where it got interesting. So now they're talking. And they're getting along, and they're kind of looking at each other like, maybe we shouldn't have been just wonder studies. And I liked it. So then we do the whole, he picks her up at the airport, brings a granola bar. They finally plan risotto night. They're getting in a good system. They're having that conversation between him and Gina with the Duke, about the Duke thing and his dad. Think about it. We didn't like EJ in season 1 because he was going to mess up the show. But now we like EJ. We like EJ. So, but then all of a sudden, because Gina's brother goes and be's a brother and tries to mess up the relationship, he cancels risotto night. I'm so glad that Ashlyn said something about that to Gina, because Gina said something. So then they go and kiss. And I only think the reason, I don't know why they didn't show that kiss. They can't say COVID. Can they say COVID? I don't think they can say COVID, because I think some people were still kissing. Yeah, no, some of them were still kissing. Oh, maybe not. I know episode 3 was the last episode that they shot before the lockdown. So, was someone kissing afterward? Yes, they were. Yeah. Someone was kissing. Yeah, no, they were down. There was some people kissing in here afterwards. So I don't understand why we couldn't see the Portwell kiss. I want to see it. Okay. Gina Porter. Gina Porter is my favorite character in this show. I'm gonna tell you why. So at first we did not like Gina. I was like, why is she so stuck on not being the lead? Because she was always the lead, right? And Nene was never the lead. Let me input something there. Why did some of y'all think Nene was going to steal Ashlyn's lead role? Nene's only been the lead one time. It's not like she's always had the lead. Y'all were on Twitter talking about she's always the lead. She's been the lead one time. Though that's not even in her character to go and try to steal the part of someone else's. That's how I just know y'all hate Nene, because you don't like Olivia. And we're going to get into that, actually, after I'm done talking about this briefly. We're going to get into it. Gina. So Gina was always the lead. And she didn't get the lead, and so she was a bit upset about that. She was pulling Lily a little bit. So she tries to get Nene to quit. The plan was dumb. She wanted Nene to quit. So she get the lead. And EJ wanted Ricky to quit so he get the lead. But if Nene quit, because EJ wanted the lead because to be with Nene, so she was never going to get the lead. Or so one of them was not going to get what they actually really wanted. So that plan was kind of not... I don't think they were thinking. But, okay, so we go through the whole thing. We get to episode 5. She opens up to Ricky. I move around all the time. It's just my mom and I. We move around all the time. I don't really have anyone to talk to. Ricky gets it because now he's going through the single parent divorce era too. And so they're bonding, and we're seeing this side of Gina that's kind of lovely. And, but then Gina has to move. And that was so sad. I was so sad about that. I was like, why'd she have to move now that we're starting to really get to know her and really like her? But I'm glad she came back at the end to finish the role. She killed it. She killed it. She has that brief moment with Nene about her having a disappearing Gina age, and Nene was like, no, but we really love you. No, don't go anywhere. Maybe we can do something about it. And I really like that Ashlyn invited her to stay with her. I really like that. I liked it. But again, season 1 was not showing Gina the way we thought we were seeing Gina. But here we go. Season 2, Gina. Now, we were seeing the teary eyes since episode 1. When she was looking at Ricky and he was with Nene. And then we saw her being a girl boss in episode 2. And she was telling Lily, those are my friends. We don't insult and downplay people like that. Those are my friends. I was like, that's right, you tell her. Because Lily was her a semester ago. And now Gina's changed. That's right. So then, now, here we go again. We went back into the whole Ricky thing. She thought the chocolates were from Ricky. I thought the chocolates were from Ricky too. But they were not. They were from her mom. And so that whole text, that was a little okay. And so then we get to episode 4. Did he even talk about it in episode 4? No, she's fighting with Carlos in episode 4, which some people were like, Yeah, let Carlos be. And I was not with Carlos on that. It seemed like I'm not gonna say it was Carlos. It was the writers making Carlos seem as if he should be the one that's more upset over not being able to choreograph because he is gay. When Gina is going through 10 times worse than him, everyone kind of already knows Carlos is gay, so I don't understand. At the school, so it's not that wasn't making any sense to me. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. And so then we get to the Quinceanera. They're all fake. How come no one noticed how weird she was acting? How she was on the verge of tears every second in the episode. Let's give it up to Sophia Wiley for being an actress. Where's her Emmy? Where's her Grammy for the song? That's a fire song. The dancers do my do, and that's a bop. She was on the verge of tears and no one noticed. She looked like she was getting ready to ditch town and no one noticed. They better be glad her mom said no. I was gonna fight all of them. Okay? So we get to the next episode and it's revealed that Gina admitted her feelings to Ricky. So why haven't Let's talk about how after that was revealed, we never heard about it ever again. Why haven't we heard about it ever again? She said, yeah, I have feelings for Ricky. And then an episode later, she had feelings for EJ. Like, that was quick. Where was the emotional development from being in love with Ricky to having some type of intimacy and liking towards EJ in that way? But she was going through a lot, and Ricky was really bothering her. It wasn't helping, so I understand. So we get her with EJ. Yeah. Portwell for life. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted Gina to be a lesbian this season. I wanted to explore that because I thought her and Ashley were going to get together from the end of season 1. But I got Portwell and I'm fine with that. So we really did get that. And now we have this very weird episode where Asher Angel from Andy Mack comes and guest stars in one episode. Love that Andy Mack reunion. And I kind of liked her with Jack. I thought Jack was going to come back, but he was literally only in one episode. I don't understand. Okay. But I liked it. And but most of the episode was about Gina. But I don't understand why we had to see that if he was never going to be shown again. That didn't really show anything. There was... Okay. There's no development there besides the whole EJ brought her a granola bar and picked her up from the airport. What was the point? So episode 10 we have the thing with Nene. I did not mention about the Nene Nina thing. My bad. I'll go back to it in just a second. Yeah, like they had that little tension moment, and then that didn't get talked about again, like I said earlier, until the finale, and I love that moment. I love the flourishing of her and EJ's relationship. Like, she was becoming so cute about it. She was not that cute about Ricky, let's notice that. She was so happy about it. She was like, I'm going to Arizona tonight with EJ. It's a date. Oh, what are you wearing to a date? I was like so happy for her. And I'm so glad that they're gonna put Gina and EJ together if there is a next season. I like that. I mean, it was good for her. Her character development. How do we go to her from her being a bitch to her being the most lovable character in the show? That's growth. Not just from Gina, but from us as well. Now let me go back to the Nina thing. When she said that in her Instagram post, she said, my name is Nina. When I heard that, I was like, oh, she thinks she grown. Oh, okay. I remember when I heard that, I was like, I'm not calling that girl Nina. I have a friend named Nina, so every time I hear the name Nina, I think of her, and I just didn't want to think of her when I was looking at Olivia Rodrigo, even though I could. I love you, Nina. But I was like, oh, she really thinks oh, okay. She's grown. I just wanted to say that real quick. Okay, so let's get to these other side characters that they just decided to finally give storylines to in season 2, but not season 1. Courtney. She was only supposed to be in a few episodes, and she was not supposed to be a part of the cast at all, actually, but they liked her. Her whole thing in the first episode with the whole I'm a feminist and I'm gonna defeat the patriarchy, I don't understand what happened to that, but I do like how they kind of kept her independence a lot. And that in the series, they kind of kept her independence. I do like how they paired her up with a guy in the second season. But let's talk about something really quick. Courtney's the token black friend. I know there's Gina in the cast, and even though Sophia Wiley's mixed, but I mean, let's be honest, Courtney was the token black friend. She's still the token black friend. And they paired Courtney up with the only other black boy in the cast, because they finally casted a black boy in the cast. There was no black boys in this cast before season 2. So they got a black boy and said, we're gonna pair him with Courtney. I don't have a problem with black love, but I mean that okay. And so her being the whole she was still showing independence. She didn't really want to fall for a boy. I got it. I got that. But you know, I don't have a problem with Courtney. I like Courtney. The storyline that they gave her, they need to do better with it. They need to do something with it. I mean, I kind of like, okay, she has a boyfriend now. Season 3, what are you going to give her? She kind of didn't really have a storyline, basically, besides the Howie thing. And while we're here, let's talk about Howie too. We don't know much about him. All we knew was he was North High's beast, and he kind of betrayed her by not telling her. But I mean, she could have just asked what school he went to. I really don't have much to say about Courtney and Howie, because they didn't write a lot about Courtney and Howie. Next, let's talk about Carlos and Seb and pairing them together, because we know just about the same much of information about them. I like this. I like how they do have a gay couple in this show. It gives me, again, if you watch Glee, it gives me Santana and Brittany vibes. Seb is Brittany, Carlos is Santana, but without the whole extraness. Carlos is very extra. Santana's not that extra, but it gives me that vibes. And I mean, I like seeing them get together. I mean, they did have the slight blemish in the whole Carlos went to Mexico, took some pictures with some other guys. Seb didn't like that. And then so to make it up to him, he sung him the song. I kind of liked it, but we don't know much about them. I like the climb rendition that Seb did was beautiful. Oh, it was so beautiful. But again, what do we know about Carlos and Seb? Who's next to talk about? Ashlyn. Let's talk about Ashlyn. I love Ashlyn. She's always there for everybody, and everybody ain't there for her though. And that's messed up. I want someone to be there for Ashlyn. And I'm so glad that's Big Red. Let's also talk about Big Red here too, because we know just about the same information. I like Big Red. We didn't obviously know that much about Big Red. He's kind of funny when he always looks at the camera and he's like, that's so funny. Ashlyn has this beautiful talent. I'm so glad she got casted as the lead as Belle. It was so much deserved. The whole thing where they were talking about, I don't look like Belle though. I don't look like Lily either. I don't look like Belle. I'm not I like that. But I wish, and I'm so glad that they talked about it for just a second, because obviously that's what some other people were thinking too. Obviously they're like, why is she Belle? She doesn't look like Belle. But that was a message, and I like that. She was the whole season 2. I can't really talk about season 1 actually that much because she was barely in season 1. But season 2, she was constantly trying to be there for Gina, and Gina was just like kicking her out the door. And then I don't know what happened between the trio with Courtney, Ashlyn, and Gina. It just fizzled after season 2. Like, what happened to it? It's not like Nene came back that next episode. Like, literally what happened to the trio? They could have kept the trio. But okay. I'm just... She's being there for everybody, but not everybody's being there for her, and I'm glad Big Red is there. And that was cute. I like their relationship a lot. I have nothing else to say about them. Let's talk about that evil hag Lily. I don't like her. Being that uptight over an audition. I know a few Lilies in my life, so... But that was not it. Still in the harness, evil hag. Still in the harness, knowing she stole the harness, going to crash the cast party, and confessing feelings to Ricky. I don't know if they're trying to make us like her, but I don't. If there's a next season, they're going to try to really make us like her, and I'm not going to. I'm going to stick with it. You heard it here. If there's a season 3, I'm not sticking to liking Lily, okay? Antoine, who's obviously only in like 2 seconds of this whole season, so I don't really have anything to say about him. Oh, let's talk about Miss Jen. I thought we were going to get to know Miss Jen more this season, because last season there was a whole fiasco about who is Miss Jen. Miss Jen might not be her real name. She doesn't have teacher credentials, yada yada yada. We got none of that this season. In fact, we got very more annoying. Let's go back to season 1 really quick. She was very passionate. I didn't mind Miss Jen last season. I just wanted to really know more about her. She was very passionate about putting on high school display and making sure the kids can get their act together, but she was not. I mean, obviously the show did not go that well, but she was so annoying in season 2. She was just pushing for these kids to win the Mankeys, and instead of pushing them to just be good people and good actors and put on a great show, she was so worried about the Mankeys. And she told Ricky to go jump off of something high. I didn't mention, side note, Ricky needs therapy. I did not mention that. I hope y'all know that Ricky needs therapy, but so does Miss Jen, because Mr. Mazzara, let's talk about him real quick. I thought he was kind of annoying in season 1 because he was kind of like downplaying on their downfall for the play. That was kind of not cool. He was saying some kind of rude things to Carlos. That was not cool either. But I do like, him warming up to the theaters department and kind of also realizing that the theaters department can use the robotics club. He became so much nicer. Him slowly falling for Miss Jen. I don't know if that's gonna really happen because he's gotten a Caltech position, but maybe it will. I kind of like them. I like them more than her being with Ricky's dad. I think Ricky's dad also needs therapy. He just got divorced. I know Lynn hopped into a relationship, but I think she was cheating in the first place. So, I don't think he needs to jump into a relationship right now. So, is there another character I'm forgetting about? I hope I'm not. That's all the characters I got. Overall, I really like this show. I'm really passionate about it. There's some things that I want. First, I'm glad we got more episodes in this second season. Thank you. I want the episodes to be longer. I don't know why the last episode of season 2 was only 20 something minutes when all the rest of the episodes were like 30 plus. I want longer episodes. I want the time jumps to stop. We time jump too much that we sometimes, like, character development happens and then all of a sudden we're like, how did that happen? And we just don't know because they do time jumps. And that's a little confusing and I don't like that. So let's just keep it going day by day. I don't know. Let's stop with the time jumps. I would like to see the kids' home life more with their parents. We have Nini who has 2 moms. That's huge. But we never see her moms. I would like to see, we've seen Ricky with his parents, but I would like to see Ricky and his parents a bit more in therapy. I would like to know more about Gina's home life now that we know that she has a brother. Where's the dad? Does she have any more siblings? What's the home life like? We never seen her mom. I would like to see it. Ashlyn and her parents. We never see her parents. I would like to know what her relationship with her parents are. I want to see all of the kids' home life more. Because I think it will help us get a better understanding of who they are as people. 2, I would like to see the show. You can make it a special. I think that's what you should do. I understand the reason why you can't show the show in the episodes because you're focusing on all the other plot lines and stuff and trying to get them along and tie them up. But you should just make a special after the season airs where it's actually just the actors acting the play. Because I would like to see it. I know Beauty and the Beast is a very long play. It's 3 hours, but I would sit there for 3 hours and watch it. You could split it up into twos too, like Act 1 and Act 2. If it's like a 2-episode special, you know, like how Euphoria did with their 2 special episodes that they did. Like, you could do it like that. I wanted to see High School Musical too, like them do. I wanted to see it. Obviously we got a little bit better with how to put on a production, but let's do better. I would like to see them rehearse more. I want to know that I want to know that they know their lines and they know the choreography, my bad, and the music. I would like to see it. I would like to know that there's more people in the costume department and the set crew and all of that. Another thing I want a Natalie storyline. The stage manager, Natalie Baddeley, I want more of her. She's so funny. I want more of her. She's been in this cast for 2 seasons and we don't know her. We want Natalie. I also... What else do I want? I also kind of just want to see... I think if we see the home life more, we're going to understand the kids better. And then and because we're not going to have any time jumps, we're going to see the actual gradual growth of all of these characters. I want all of these characters to have character growth. Nene is getting there. After 2 seasons, Nene is getting there. Gina's there, so she can be stagnant in season 3. She doesn't need it, okay? I would just like to see a little bit more of everything. Like, I wanted to see more of the college storyline. I wanted to see, that's just like little things that they would start and then they kind of just let it dissipate to thin air. Like, I just want more of that. But now, as I finish up this video, I just want to say this. Obviously, there was some drama in between season 1 and 2. I don't like the instigating of co-stars dating unless they say something that they're dating. And I don't think they were dating. You know who I'm talking about. If you don't know who I'm talking about, just read the comments. I don't think they were dating. And I hate that y'all instigated that they were. And caused the whole fiasco. It brought in a whole nother person who was probably so confused what the hell was going on. That was messy. And then you came into this season and brought up that mess all over again. That's why I don't like seeing them together because of what happened. Like, don't do that. So this is why it's going like that, because of Driver's License. Driver's License wasn't even a song yet. By the time any of these most of these episodes have been filmed. In fact, I remember what's the actor's name? I don't know what the actor's name, but the actor who plays Seb, he went on Jacob D. Heron's channel. If you don't watch Jacob D. Heron's channel, you're not a true fan, because you should be watching his videos. He said that Driver's License hadn't even been out by the time of the filming of episode 7. So obviously none of that stuff had even happened before they finished wrapping up the season. So y'all instigate stuff so much because I go to school. Most of the y'all who are saying this are 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds that are on the internet, and you shouldn't be on the internet that young. Go to school. Go to school. Focus on school. hang out with your friends. Get off the internet. That's all I have to say about that. I obviously like the show. I just want a little bit more. When you like a show, you always want more from it, and you just want to make it like, you just want better for it, and that's just what I want for this show. I don't mind it. Obviously there are some issues, like they need a more diverse cast. They need to, yeah, they have some things to fix. Obviously, but I just wanted to say my opinions. I think if I had to choose a season I liked more, a lot of people will not agree with me. I did like season 2 better. I didn't mind season 1. I think season 1 was great, but I think season 2 was better because we saw a lot of growth with some of these characters, and while some people don't really care about that, they were like, all of this was a hot mess and all of that. I don't really care about that. I hope we get a season 3. Stop instigating about Olivia. Oh, y'all are like, she's not coming back. You don't know that. Did Olivia come out and say that she's not coming back for a season 3? I don't think so. I follow Olivia on all social media platforms. Actually, let me just say this. Stop sending Olivia Rodrigo hate. Stop sending Joshua Bassett hate for dumb things. There's a few things. Let me shut up. Stop sending Sabrina Carpenter hate. Stop. Just stop. Stop saying that. Especially Olivia, she's the youngest. If you were 18 and someone bullied you like that, you would go boo-hoo cry. But she's not supposed to boo-hoo cry because she's Olivia Rodrigo now? If you don't like her music, just say, I don't like her music. And shut up. You don't have to keep saying it. You don't have to keep going on about it, how much you hate it. In fact, just keep it to yourself. No one really cares. If you don't like Joshua Bassett's music, keep it to yourself. Just say, I don't care for his music. Like I just did earlier. Just say, I don't care about his music. And shut up. You don't need to keep going on about it. Don't say the other actors and actresses deserve more than just Olivia Rodrigo. Shush. Of course we want to see Sophia Wiley and Julia Lester have the same success as Olivia Rodrigo and Joshua Bassett, of course. But you don't need to downplay Olivia Rodrigo and Joshua Bassett's success because you want to see more for your favorites. All of our favorites can't get the same amount of fame as Beyonce. They can't get all of that. I'm sorry. Just say, actually don't even say anything. As long as if Sophia Wiley put out an album, and you make sure you stream it so that she gets the success. Don't go anywhere and start saying, why didn't she get the same? No, don't say that. Maybe you weren't streaming the album enough. Maybe people don't care about it, her music. I don't care. I don't know what the reason would be, but don't do that. Don't do that. Y'all need to stop doing that. Okay, that's all I have to say. I hope you liked my video. I also just want to say, someone already probably put this in the comments. These are my opinions. My thoughts. If you disagree with them, that's okay, but don't be rude about your disagreement towards it. Because these are my opinions and I can have them. If you don't like my opinions, you can say you didn't like them, but say it in a nice way. Say it where I don't feel like you're being rude or passive aggressive towards it. Thank you. If you want to say your opinions, you can, as I did, open up your phone, go to the camera app, and go scroll to video and press record and say your opinions. These are my opinions. You can say yours somewhere else. So I hope you liked my video. I hope I get a thumbs up and you subscribe. I'm hoping that I can make more videos like this in the future, given my schedule. And have a nice day.